our great nation we love and cherish. You have to free our great nation or all will perish.
They carry girl around for the massacre. They kill our people and say we be animal. No food to chop, no job, no joy. Mama, papa go spend for school, all in vain. Even the workers, no payment. Child was born in suffering, grown in suffering, see die in suffering. In this country, so a pity, a pity. We are not brothers, just let me go. No culture, no tribe, just let me go. Not religion or the same thing came. Can you tell me what makes us in unity?
Freedom is all we asking for. Freedom is all we asking for. You have to free our great nation we love and cherish. You have to free our great nation or all will perish. Respect to my leader, Mazi Ipob. Our people they for street they suffer. Them they hustle for something to eat. Chukokike bless our land with resources, but we still living in poverty. Why are we living with pythons? We are living with vultures. In the zoo, there is no law, no constitution or human rights. Our great nation we love and cherish. Respect to my leader, Mazi Ipob. Our people they for street they suffer. Them they hustle for something to eat. Chukokike bless our land with resources, but we still living in poverty. Why are we living with pythons? We are living with vultures. In the zoo, there is no law, no constitution or human rights. our great nation we love and cherish. You have to free our great nation or all will perish.
They carry gun around for the massacre. They kill our people and say we be animal. No food to chop, no job, no joy. Mama, papa go spend for school, all in vain. Even the workers, no payment. Child was born in suffering, grown in suffering, see die in suffering. In this country, so a pity. We are not brothers, just let me go. No culture, no tribe, just let me go. Not religion or the same king. Can you tell me what makes us in unity?
Is all we asking for. Freedom is all we asking for. You have to free our great nation we love and cherish. You have to free our great nation or all will perish.
Yes, sir, once again, fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom, men and women of conscious people, wherever you are, all over the world, I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and to some of you, good night, depending on your time zone. This is Radio Biafra Extra, and we are streaming live through Radio Biafra London. Radio Biafra London is being anchored by the Deputy Leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra. His name is Mazi Mefo. He is from Abatete. Abatete is in Anambra State, and Anambra State is Biafra land. Mazi Mefo is the man who have assured us that he will not allow the heart of this project to see corruption. Like I always say, this is one word. I do not expect us to understand the mindset behind them. He is standing in a deputizing capacity on behalf of our Supreme Leader, Mazi Okukano, the King of Afali Beku, the one and the only man who stood up to speak for the collective interests of the Biafran people for almost 60 years now. Afali Beku is in Umuahia. Umuahia is in Abia State, and Abia State is Biafra land. By the special grace of Chukwukika Biama, I am George Onyeibe. I come from Abo. Abo is in Delta State, and Delta State is Biafra land. And of course, without wasting much of our time, we will move ahead to acknowledge the Creator, Chukwukika Biama, the one who is the lifting up of our head, our hope and stay, the one who continually renew our strength each day. Because the tasks ahead of us, we understand they are enormous. But in the end, Biafra must be restored. Anyị na-aja gị mma o, n'ihi na ị mara mma e, ịhụnanya ị na-agị, obiọma gị, o juru anya anya dadị o, inwe gị mgbanwe o, ọ dị onye dịka gị. Ebu Alpha na Omega, anyị niile na-asị na n'edema o, ise. And of course, on this segment, our team remain back to your root. And our topic this evening is the King's Palace and its cabinet. The King's Palace and its cabinet. Honestly, I saw the ancient people. Honestly, I understand how the world we live has changed greatly. Honestly, if we were able to make amends in most of our ways of life and go back to our root, there are challenges we face today that we cannot face. Somebody is going to say, but did our father has a better life than us? Yes, they did. The difference today is that you see people driving automobile. Maybe your father didn't have. But of course, we don't have in Nigeria because those who have automobile do not have road to drive on it. Yes, they may not have the privilege of boarding an aeroplane, an aircraft. But the truth remains that they did have an airport. Today we don't have an airport, so we have to travel to Lagos, Yoruba land, or Hausa land, or Fulani land here in Nigeria as a Biafran to do this. Honestly, I was born in a time where more than 99.9% of the communities, the building in my community, all of them don't have fence. We can all bear testament to that single fact today that most building, majority of our communities, most building there don't have fence. Because there were no need to thief. Being an armed robber, a criminal, actually it's not because of the existence of lack or want. No. It's character. One develop over time. Nigeria is one place you understand that if you are not a thief, then you are a fool. Nigeria remains the only country in the world where you go occupy a government position, you go and serve them, and then after 4 years, tenure, you come back. If you are unable to build a house, buy a flashy car, people will call you a fool. If for any reason you go and serve in Nigeria, occupying any position, you come back and you did not loot the hell out of your people, you are considered a fool. I have seen many politicians who moved in there, served their people with all their heart. I do not want to mention the name of one of them. He served very loyal. And at the end of the day, they came back without having anything. The community people are mocking him. Look at you, the guy in Amugu, you fuck up. I go be chairman, I go be governor after many years. Yes, Nigeria is a country where you see people, they celebrate criminals. You need to see where some youth without future are praising Tinubu, praising El-Rufai, praising Kwankwaso, among other thefts across Nigeria. The more money you steal, the more you are appreciated. But I must tell you, this is not our way of life. Except we have failed to go back and find out how our ancestors actually existed. This evening, we are going to look at the topic I entitled The King Palace and its Cabinet. People used to make the comment, they say Onyeibe. But believe me, my mindset about, or my mindset or perspective to that very statement, it's not that we don't have a king. We do have a king. I can tell you about the Nana of Ishekiri. I can tell you about King Jaja of Ipob. I can tell you about Eze Wawawa of Ebonyi State. I can tell you of Udogun of Asaba. I can tell you of Obi of Abo. I can tell you of other Obis, about 447 of them within the Abo communities. I can tell you about the Obi of Onitsha. I can tell you about Ezenri. I can give you thousands of names of kings who have ruled our communities. And so the idea of Onyeibe must be placed in the right perspectives. And all these kings, as you all know, have a role to play. They have a role to play. And I want us to understand when they were functional in the days of our ancestors, the role they were meant to play, and we can be able to consider its absence, the lack of it, what it has reduced us to today. Today we have kings in Biafra land. But I can assure you that more than 80% of the king in Biafra land are certificate, government manufactured monarchs. We have found ourselves in a time where a governor will dethrone a king. We have found ourselves in a time where you are given a certificate to become a king. There is an adage in my place that says, a king is born to be served. They don't call that king a child. I am older than the Ubi of Fabo. My younger brother is older than the Ubi of Fabo. But anytime I will go to his palace, I give him his regard because he's my king. But today, PDP come, for instance, with their own king. And when PDP is gone, APC come with their own king. They give them certificate. And when I look at these people you call your leaders, your elders, founding father, opinion molder, intellectuals, misplacing our system of monarch, automatically they are indirectly contributing to the degeneration of our society. And so I want us on this very study to go back and find out how they function. And of course, when our lines are open as Biafran, you are free to make your own contribution. The kings has a role to play. And that role, his office is in the palace. Of course, our leader is a king of Afari Biku. But let me not digress further. Number one, what I want us to understand about the kings and the palace is who are the members of his cabinet. There are many ways a king can be ordained. There are many ways a king can be crowned. There are many ways a king can be appointed. Those are not the area I want to dabble into this evening because it's actually very wide range. But I want to start by telling us who a king is and how they function in the ancient days. Today, we cannot bear testament that most of our supposedly king are the ones giving out the community land against the will of the people. Today, we all understand that most of our monarch become a willing tools in the hand of Hausa Fulani, one Nigeria Yoruba, to undo us as a people. I encourage you to learn from the Yoruba monarch. Of course, it's a little bit watered down, but they have ultimate regard for their monarch system. I'm yet to see a governor from Yoruba land issuing a threat to a monarch in Yoruba land. But if it does happen, you know it is a certificate monarch. Of course, from the north, we understand how that one has been compromised. And so you can sanction them, banish them, because in the first place, they were not original. But coming back to our home, in those days, we used to have a king. The king, as far as I can tell, may have the highest power in the community. And what the king has spoken, so shall it be written, and so shall it be done. The kings look as if they were invisible, watching them from a distance. The king had the final say in every matter. But he has a cabinet. Because we understand that absolute power corrupts absolutely, they were members of cabinet set up to checkmate the king in order to prevent the king from the abuses of power. And so in those days, the king may be the one who looked like he have the highest say. But believe me, he is not. Number one member of his cabinet is the high priest. The high priest does not have a role to play in the palace, but he monitors the king. And anytime the king makes any mistake, the high priest will go to the king and say, the gods sent a message for you. The gods have a message for them. The the high priest was the only person who could rebuke the king, who could correct the king, who could instruct the king without breaking the traditional law. And so whatever decision the king may take, it may be final, but there is somebody known as the high priest who is waiting for him to checkmate him. Today, do you still have a high priest? I can assure you 70% of the Igwe and Amayanabo in Biafra land do not have a high priest any longer. And so when they wake up, anything they like, they do. Nobody can go and say, King, this thing you have done is wrong. Stop it. And you see, on daily basis, our society begin to degenerate. I reminded us that as a child, we leave our pot of soup at home and we go to school. We come back, our pot of soup will still be outside. I can remember that I lived in a house with my parents for more than 7 to 10 years. We don't have key. We use one bolt to lock the door and keep it outside there. There was nothing like, in fact, if you are caught for, what do they call criminal charges then? Breaking and entry or burglary. Breaking and entry is small criminal. Burglary is the big armed robber. Today, the name they call criminal is unbelievable. But these were the days of our ancestors. I am not saying we are going to go back there. I want us to understand some of the principles that they deployed in order to create a very serene environment like that. And if we can do that in Biafra land, there are most of the challenges we are seeing here today. We will not face them. Who corrects our king? Who talks to them? Our new high priest now is the governors. So when, as a king, you mess up, the governor will issue order, Fulani army will deal with you. Today, when you say they project the Igwes, they project the Amanyanabo, but we all know that all the Igwes and the Amanyanabo, all of them do not have power. Because the government of Nigeria has crippled them. The moment you belong to a particular, your affiliation is to one political party, you are gone. You can wake up and become Igwe. And of course, we had Wiki addressing one of them the other day and say, you are not an Igwe. Look at Usman Fojo cap you are wearing now. Like an Igwe. You are a small boy. But it's not about his age. The truth is that he is not blue-blooded individual. And now, the next person on the cabinet is the queen. They always say behind every successful man, there is a woman. The queen role is to make sure that he monitors the activity of the king. Of course, the king may have many wives, but one of them is referred to as queen mother, according to English. And the queen is to make sure that everything about the king is protected. She exists for the sole purpose of protecting the king. The high priest can come and threaten the king, and once the queen say, do not mind here, the high priest, he stand. And I begin to show you the role of women in the society. The queen was a very high influence before the king. Because when the king got angry, it is the queen who will politely talk to the audience and say, please, I will appeal to all of you to go and come back maybe in the next 4 market days, because the king is not feeling very fine. And the next thing you see, everybody obey. Because at that moment where the queen intervened, everybody, including the high priest, will shut down. That is the power of a queen. And if you have such queen among us today, you will understand why they had the ability to mobilize themselves all the way from Calabar down to Aba in 1929. Far ancient days. Because they were president of queen. Where are Biafran queens? Today, most of them are driving flashy cars. What are these Jeep governors use? But they don't even know their role. To top it all, They show you in Nigerian Hollywood that our queen are fashion designers. Our king, the only thing you can learn from them in the Nigerian movie industry is that they are fashion designer. And then the fourth person there on the line of the king's cabinet is the protectorers of the throne. Some call them Onowu. They have different name for them. Their duty is to protect the throne. They can never be king. Anybody from that family can never be king. They are the one who will decide who the next king will be. You better pray that the protectorers of the throne of your community is in order. For instance, where I come from, when Obi Kechuku died, untimely death, may his soul rest in peace. He didn't have a son. And if not that one of the wife gave birth to a son, who is currently the Obi of Abo as we speak, the king would have died without a heir to the throne. And that moment where the king died without a heir, it was the protectorers of the throne that came forward and said, the kingship cannot go to the family of the younger brother of the king until the last wife or the wife who is pregnant has delivered. And if it's a baby girl, the kingship will go to the family of the younger brother of the king. And so the people who are the protectorers of the throne are making sure that the person who is cancelling Igwe of your community is original Igwe. I know many Igwe who are not Igwe, but government made them Igwe. I don't want to disrespect any of them. I don't want to call their name, but they know the truth. One politician will come and say, you are Igwe. This Igwe, they're installing you to enable them use you to sell your community land. They're installing you to enable them use you to bring about anarchy in your community. Yes, they install you there so they can use you to do their dirty job. But our ancestors were more honorable in this dealing. And I want us to reflect to that effect. And so you have the people who are the protectorers of the throne. The protectorers of the throne make sure that anybody that sits on that throne is the original, the genuine king. That is why today, more than 35% of Biafran monarchs don't even live in the palace. They are not even recognized. But I know one day they will have the privilege to tell their story. There are many things why many people don't want Biafra to come. Many Igwe will make sure Biafra don't come because they are not the original Igwe. And that is why anybody who do not understand the magnitude of enemy we are fighting against as a people here in IPOB begin to think very well. Those people who know they are not the real king will make sure Biafra don't come. But I appeal on all of you, if you are Biafra, go and do the right thing. Because so many people back on him. And then the next member of the cabinet of the king is the high chiefs. You have the protectorers of the throne and you have the high chiefs. The high chiefs are almost as powerful as the king. The high chief, as they call them, has a very strong influence on the king's decision. The high chiefs were meant to help the king fight external enemy. And when necessary, they fight the king itself to make sure that the interests of the people are protected. Like I said, do not forget that the king have absolute power. And if the absolute power is not being checked, it will corrupt him absolutely. And so he has a cabinet. And when there is any pressing issue in the community, it is the king who now gather his high chiefs and say, look at the issue in our community. What do we do? And everybody begin to give their opinion. When they fail to come to a conclusive end, they may use that opportunity to invite the high priest and consult the gods according to how they function. And so you now begin to see descending order, facilities that are put in place, offices that have been installed, people who have been positioned to help just one king succeed. And then after the high chiefs, you now have a group of people known as the Chastisers. There are other chiefs. Their duty is to look for the problem of the king. Their own is to antagonize the king all the time. All the time. They are always there to antagonize the king. It is normal. We see them functioning. We see all these people functioning in our society today. But because of misplacement of priority, we just don't get how it functions. No matter how good you are, there are people who will be there to criticize you. No matter how much our leader will try to defend himself, there will always be people who will say, give us account, give us account. If you like, bring heaven down. People will be there to tell him, give us account. No matter how you try to be righteous or holy, there are people who their anointing is to antagonize you. They have such in the king's palace. That is why you see there are some people in the community, they can never be friend with the king. The day they become friend with the king, that community is gone. It is not because they are bad people. It is because that is their anointing. When the king stand up and said to the people, everybody must give me 22 bags of yam this new yam festival. If you fail to do that, you will be banished from the community. These people are the people who will stand up and object to the king. And say, king, it is unfair that you will pass such a law in this community. Have you ever tried finding out if members of your community are feeding well? King, I must remind you that some people in their farm don't even have 10 tubers of yam. And then how can you ask them to give you 20? That is their job. There may be rowdiness. There may be misunderstanding in the palace. At the end of the day, the meeting may be postponed. But at least they give a king room to think. This is our culture. This is our tradition. I'm coming. And then, after these chastisers, you have the next one known as the king allies. This one is a mystery. I want you to go to any king palace. You must see a drunkard or somebody whose head is not correct. I say this one is a mystery. The closest friend to the king, the shortest means through which the gods communicate to the king is through these people. Go to any palace. You must see somebody. He's not mad, but their head no correct. You look them somehow, look as if they are mad. You look them somehow, look as if they are normal. Any palace you did not see from such, any palace you didn't see such a person, that place is not a palace. I am telling you what is verifiable. In every palace you go, you must see somebody whose head is not correct. He may be married, he may have children, but he cannot flow on the same level with other people. You say that you think they are mad. Watch them very closely. They are the closest friend of the king. They are the people the king can call upon. Come, they are there. They are the people that are fast to respond in defense of the king. They are the people that watch the king and talk to the king anyhow. God made it that way. God made it that way. Because people consider them that their head is not normal. But yet, the king cannot explain why he has somebody like that in their palace. And so one day the king will mess up. And then finally, this man will come to the king and say to him, King, I'm not challenging you, but this thing you did is not good. Stop it, repent. Will you get out here? Look at this man. But every ordained king understand that man you think is a madman in the parlor, they are the only people that can talk to the king anyhow and walk away with it. The king know. The kings that are spiritually guided are close to these people and they will be asking them questions. How do you see this man? That man you think is a madman, they give wise counsel. You say, king, you see that your chief? Now landing the thief. King will say, you don't mean it. But how do you know? You don't leave this palace. He say, king, leave it. We know. King will not say, what about the other one? You say, king, that's your chief. All the widow in the community cannot rest again. King say, my friend, shut up. Get out here. But the king know the truth. That is how they function. They are members of his cabinet. So if you have a king who is your friend, check if there is such person there. I'm not telling you they are mad, but I tell you they do not operate in the same frequency with you. So you think they are mad. They see what you cannot see. They know what you cannot know. God made it that way. If it were to be in the Bible terms, you can call them as a prophet. Most prophets of the Bible were the friend of the king. Their life is not is somehow abnormal. They are friends to the king. We look at King David and his prophet. They were friends, unusual people. Prophet Nathan is an unusual man. His ministry was just like monitoring David. But I could not describe this one in Biafra land like that of Prophet Nathan. And then in the king palace, you now have the prince. The prince is another important aspect of the king palace. They have many ways of bringing up a prince. Because that a throne continue after the king is dead. Is that first of all, there must be a son to replace the king. And there is a way we train this king, this prince. For example, a lot of princes were trained in my parents' home as a child. We will just be there. They will bring somebody. The person will stay in our house. In the morning, they wake all of us up. We go to the river and fetch water. We come back, we wash plate. We wash plate, we bathe, and we head for school. And when we come back, you know, we are like a landlord's son. And sometimes there is this temptation to attack these people. I remembered one of them who was trained in my home. And one day I was harassing him and intimidating him. After all, it's in my father's house. And my father called me and said, that boy you are treating like that is the king of the next community. Then I said to my father, then what is the king doing in our house? He told me two things. He said, number one, it is not proper for a prince to grow in the same house with the king. Why? It is not because it's a natural law everywhere in Biafra land. Number one is because some king will refuse to die. You go to Abo, some of the king, 120 something years. Many of them are still there today. Very old king. King Mareri, he refused to die. They go and beg them. Oh God, daddy, I beg, die now. In fact, one of the king in Benin have to start crying and begging his father. Please now, daddy, die now. Daddy, die now. I'm almost 91 years. When will I reign my own? Daddy, please die now. A king in Benin. And so some king don't want to die. King Baleki of Abo refused to die. King Mareri of Abo refused to die. King Obiazikwo refused to die. In fact, it is only King Ikechukwu that died untimely. And then they beg some of them to prevent that temptation of them killing their father. In order for them to reign, they remove them from the king. Number two is because they do not want the king to talk to the prince in an uncomfort manner, because that child will be a king tomorrow and should be respected. Number three reason why that child has to be taken away from the palace is for him to go and learn what his subjects are going through. It's for him to learn what the subjects are going through. Do you know that Obi of Owaliru, as you are speaking now, is carrying cotton bud in his ear. The teacher slapped him till his eardrum burst. He's still alive, he's not dead. Barrister. Because you think the teacher know that guy is a king, he will do that thing to him? Because they want those kings to feel the pain, the burden of their people. So when you are issuing order, you put yourself in their position. And now, these are the people that makes up the cabinet of the palace of a king. And now, if we take time to compare them to our day-to-day activity, you will discover that as a true leader of the people, you need to be a responsible married man. You need to be a responsible one. You need to have people you can trust. Each time I come on air, I remind you that Mazi is the man who has assured us that he will not allow the heart of this project to see corruption. I have had this opinion of him, not today. From the very day I entered IPOB, I saw humility, I saw meekness, I saw gentleness. And that is when I knew our leader will not have problem. You can imagine if somebody like me is deputizing our leader. You will see how useless I would have become. Because I cannot be as meek as Mazi. Because that is what he needs. Somebody who protects you. Somebody who understands the need to protect you. It's just simple. He's not a gentleman, but he's a man of principle. In many places I lecture IPOB family member. Some of them even take it against me. I tell them, a deputy is a spare tire. If you are a deputy, you are a spare tire. But of course, in the absence of any of the 4 tires in an automobile, you are useless without your spare tire. And so a deputy or the king's advisor must know their role. You go to the church, most time they fail because of this thing. Because the junior pastor want to topple junior pastor. Once you do miracle, God have called you. Once 3-4 person love you, God have called you. But if all this pattern through which our monarchy system was managed was still there, I tell you some things you see today will not happen. Can you advise governor? But if you advise them, will they listen to you? Are they preparing leaders for tomorrow? They are not preparing leaders for tomorrow. So, by the time you begin to consider everything we have said, if we were still functioning the same way in Biafra land, no Fulani will take over our land. No police will come and shoot anybody and walk away. No Fulani will give issue order to governor and governor start running down to Sokoto. Everybody will be protected. Everybody will be protected. There will be no need to build fence. There will be no need to challenge anybody. And by the time the Obi of Abo have issue, he communicate with another Obi. By the time one Amayanabo have issue, he communicate with another Amayanabo. By the time one Igwe have issue, he communicate with another Igwe. And then you see them coming together to unite in power to solve that problem. Because most of the kings are older than one another. And have, as such, have experienced more than one another. This is one of the greatest strengths of the Yoruba kingdom. They have different monarchs as we speak today, but they reference one above all other. Not because of the person who sits on the throne, but because of the person who represents what that throne represents. Today in Biafra land, will you allow this system our ancestors operated with to function so that other components or department in the community can function very well? Do you know market belongs to the community? Governors will not be telling you what to do in the market today. Do you know that it is the Igwe who control tank criers? Tank criers would have still been functional and telling people Fulani herdsmen has entered there. Now if we give one message to tank criers, they will carry it far to the end of the earth until everybody have heard. Do you know outside our town that most of our people in the village, some of them may live up to half a kilometer apart from each other? But if you break bottle in one of the compound, immediately they have a means of communicating to the other people in the next compound. Why? Because there is a system in place. But the moment the government of Nigeria has destroyed all this structure, everybody now behaves anyhow. Everybody now begin to malfunction. From the political class to the monarch class, all of them, everybody are malfunctioning. And they want us to be obedient to them. They want us to respect them. But our culture and tradition, they know nothing about. They will not humble themselves. Our leader and one of his brokers said to the people who want to sell Omwa here, land, to desist from it. And that is because these people, when you check them, some of them may be high chief or chief. But how can you sell a community land without the knowledge of the king? But those people will do what they want to do because they have the backing of the government of the day. These are the things every Igwe must understand. You cannot kill us for your children to remain, because nobody will serve them. And our people must take time, take your opportunity being close to a king and advise the king. They have so much role to play. Okpanam king developed strength and courage. When Nigerian police came to inquire what happened, like a king, he told them, yes, we understand the Fulani who are living inside our forest, raping women and killing people, that their thatch house were burned down. But I can't tell you that they are the town youth, because you have failed to admit that the people who killed our one of our youth, two of our youth, is Fulani herdsmen. And I can see the frustration in the front of the policeman. It's okay, we are going to investigate it. Let them come on with the investigation. I see strength and courage. But today, how? Where are we today? But today, are they still evil? But today, are we doing the right thing? There is a reason why you are a king. There is a reason why you are a queen. There is a reason why you are a chief. It is not about how much sound your name make. Let us go back to our root. You will discover most of the things you do today, you will not do that. You will discover that most of the things people do, you will not do that today. Biafrans across the globe, I'll be back in a minute. Of course, do not forget that we are in a precarious situation. We need to understand how to fight this war, how to fight this battle, and survive. Biafra will be. Yes, at this moment, our lines are open. Our WhatsApp line is 07081545642. 07081545642. Our direct line is 08122152971. 08122152971. And the special number for the female is 08128858614. 08128858614 is the special number for the female. Somebody will say, what are they doing? How does this concern Biafran struggle? Without a genuine king, you will be sabotaged. Just let God lead you to go out. In fact, most of the challenges we are going through, as the people trying to sensitize our people, is coming from the monarch. But those of them that are sincere and genuine, they know what is obtainable. It has everything to do with what we are doing. Caller on the line, your name and where are you calling from? Good evening from here, man. Go ahead, please.
I was the one. Because on before me when I started to from the morning, our able general. So I got Monday matter that my Facebook media, social media, let them do that man for us. He is there on a divine mandate. Only a child is that only a child should continue attacking Martin Namdekan because common was more surely like them. He will never have mercy in any of them. Or did any of them that have done what this man Namdekan or gather money, call as a man, gather man, a forgot the man out there. To cook the Amala Biafra, and all blind to see our weather in Nigeria. Only a blank only a blank on the town where I want Martin Namdekan, one young idea. You must need to actualize your dream. Even if you need to come and do, Martin Namdekan, you will do it perfectly. Nothing can ever stop you, or even demon can. Unless somebody in your man, because even demons, they know that you are here on a divine mission. So that bastard, that person that will come up against Martin Namdekan, the land of Biafra will be against because you are fighting against nature. When you are fighting against Mazi and Namdekan, you are fighting against nature because you know my dear asking that Mazi, all that nothing shall ever hurt you. You will come back live. As I saw it in the dream, you in our little chicken every day. And in the magic and they will kneel down before you. And then I don't after anything that you want to do, let them do it. Anything that you want to speak it, talk my free. But you can never touch him. You can never go. That is, you don't even really access. Really access because that man is, at least I have come in contact first and first. We are that he is something else. That anybody that will rise up against my director, my able general, my able Lord, my able Lord and Savior, that person must die. The land of Biafra must kill them. I am saying it now. So, Mazi, coming to today's topic is very, very fantastic. Our villages, our communities have been ruined because of these idiots. But again, they have one idiot to main store like community. Community and community will be fighting. The other day I went to so communities, they will only what is the problem? As I know, na community or even before. Now, where we stand, if something number calling man a court and say, you are a madman, where we stand and do such a thing? Where we stand and confront our stupid agents, man-made agents. That is, that's an if you are born leader, you are born a leader. As you are now, Mazi, you are born leader, and our director is also a born leader. So but today they are using them to spoil our villages, our communities, bringing flatters, bringing problems. Only Dalal. Who will stand today as a chief priest? General police say only the real another one. Nothing like that again. Okay, they are dying something. Or the dying I am not has yes more on daily basis with the dying. But Anama says, Mazi, all that the knowledge that the Chukwu Kerima has installed upon you. That is no dish out one after the other. Only when I say I'm Mazi Benagwa or Biafra. Because we are now people. Chukwu Kerima and Jaka Hopata. You have been telling us, go back to your root. Only money Bana Gabamara, you have to go back to your root. This is one of the roots before another community you will just leave your door open. Go to each other, nothing will happen to you. My food, a time the one that I bring your neighbor. The most you go to Indamatogi, that could have it's not like that again. We need to China, but through the power of Chukwu, we are going to restore all this back. All the years that cancer woman and Pama woman has been eaten up in Biafra land, we shall be restored back.
Thank you very much.
Let me just stop here because we will look at some problem.
Thank you. When we talk about the aspect of the high priest, some people say, oh, it's evil, it's evil. Do you know the high priest of in those days were the present of righteousness? They don't soil their hand. They represent something you call deity. But they represent the truth. They will tell the king, what you are doing is wrong. These are men of wisdom and knowledge. They direct the king. They counsel the king. They instruct the king. And you begin to see the success of every king almost depend on the instruction from the high priest. In fact, in most community, it will amaze you to see that the high priest is even the king. But with all these cabinet structures put in place, you cannot deceive the people. Who is telling our people who is Biafra and who is not Biafra? By the time you open up so you can see what is going on, it will amaze you. Who would have believed that Asari is Igbo man, pure Igbo man, pure Igbo man, Mama, Papa, Patana, Fatana, all of them, Igbo man, confirm. But he knows, I thank God, that is because his father is original man. His father told him the truth. You will not understand. If you misplace all these things, there will be problem. But we must go back to our root. Caller on WhatsApp, are you still there?
Good evening, Mazi, Onyeibe.
Good evening, my brother. Go ahead, please.
My name is Simon Ayanogo, calling from Maria, Spain. You know, this your first segment is where the fire always starts. The topic is about the king and the king palace. Today, some people might understand it, some people might not. That is why when our leader was starting this movement, he called it a family, IPOB family, because that is where you see everything. When he says something and talk about even the king, they have somebody like a madman that can be correcting him. If you check back to history, or if any of you read the reader they call Omenoko, the slave trade master. There was a madman. He's in the village, but he's always in the Omenoko family. They call his in the reader in the story. His name is Ibekwe. If any of you go back and watch, there's film for it also. Before the market of Omenoko fall into the river, he lost his market, his trade, most of his wealth. The madman come to Ibekwe's wife. He wanted to see Omenoko. Omenoko is not there. He just do his normal play. You know, they just settle him, give him what he normally eats. They give him yam. He was eating. He said, why? Also, why? Jiginata why? Onaga, yeburum penaka, omedayeno. The woman sent the message to Omenoko, but Omenoko said, well, Ibekwe again. Okwonyara, he forget it. He didn't do as Ibekwe commanded. He fall into the river. So what I'm saying this thing now is this. About all this thing playing out. Like my advice, and some people big collected money to come and talk against Nnamdi Kanu, or you want to bring him down, you want to fight him. We don't fight somebody who come to save you. He did nothing to you. I told them, like my advice to them, you see what Nnamdi Kanu represents. He represents the dead and the living. It can't be like him, and there will never be anything like Mazi Nnamdi. So if they give you any money you take, anything you do, you fail. That is what is playing out all this. Our people are so hungry, you know. But what would they gain? Another thing I want to say is for IPOB leadership, those people that are involved need to come up, because we need to investigate and know where our money are. These people we are talking about, they are not spirit, they are human beings we meet. We will locate them when the order is given. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. All hail Biafra.
Almost hail Biafra. Caller on the line. Your name and where are you calling from?
Mazi Onyeibe.
Monitoring Spirit. Good evening from here.
No matter that Onion Dopota said the name the Calamano Mato. No because I know what is coming to you before. We are for a moderate sound. Not even too long. 21 days from Ida Practice, you shall see the wonderfulness of the Most High Creator of the whole universe. Now listen, Biafra. Can you stay in that story building and look down? A person on the ground, how do you look like to you? That story building. No, Nala. Madonna Nala. So you people fail, you can die. The savior of the world, you can't do anything. He say nothing. He wants to come and send the message of the Most High. Let me just stop it. You people don't, you can't join him anytime. Let's see, I never do it. Then don't end up with that. We don't reggae. In the Sahara, I used to say, why? Sister Taga, who were on the Raja, let us see America. Biafra, the better than everywhere. That's your name, it's your identity. Let I use freedom is not stability. Trump never be sharp forward the issue. America, Diana, I'm going to want. When I want to be able to touch you people, I always have that American. Now, listen, go to First Kings. Chapter 11, that's why verse 8 very, very important. You go to Gadia, you can stop all this nonsense. First Kings chapter 12, Goya Yoma, chapter 13, Goya Yoma 33 and the 34, very important. You can choose yourself. Leviticus chapter 8. Verse 30, very, very important. To go to God at time. Where are you? Now listen, Isaiah chapter 46, Isaiah chapter 45, Isaiah chapter 47. God go for the Angoma. Ta. I will meet you like that. I could call you like for a life. We are going off. No pote, you can know. Oh, Governor, tell them not the candidate. Mazi Onyeibe, come push it on whenever you want to see you. But I am not going to put it for the time. Apego, all those things are just to that. What got that on from? I want to know land to side as all alive. All of us, I would say, you're the if you love your life, don't go to your life. Don't dare to kill us a child. Because you must die.
Thank you very much. Our people must understand this truth. Everybody in the position of leadership in Biafra land must go back and find out how the monarch functioned in their days. That our land could not be invaded, no criminals anywhere, everything was functioning, up and running. It's going to help us in a time like this. Are you there, caller, on WhatsApp?
Yes, I'm there. Mazi, Onyeibe. Good evening from here.
You are welcome.
Thank you. Good evening, and good evening to Biafrans and lovers of freedom all over the world. My name remains most favor Onyeibe. I come from Ozobro and Apo. Thank you. In Ekusigo province, Newu province, Biafran land, and I am calling you from Kingdom of Netherlands, where I'm serving the indigenous people in the capacity of national PRO. My leader, Mazi Onyeibe, I must commend you for the good work, for the teaching, for the lectures. I have no words to qualify the good work you're doing, and I will continue to appreciate you and your efforts. And I also want to thank my leader, Mazi Onyeibe, the great, the Iroko of my own time. I want to commend him, and I say, Chukwu Abiyama Premi Henine will continue to bless my leader. And Ucheme for our deputy and every IPOB officer working for Biafran restoration. Chukwu Abiyama will see us through, and Chukwu Abiyama will give our leader more energy for this struggle, because the enemies are saboteur, they are all rising. But we must win at the end. Mazi, I just want to be part of the program and make my own contribution, because today's lecture is a worthwhile one. Our leader is the chief, is the high priest, is the king. Now, trying to analyze your teaching, he said in every kingdom there must be a king, there must be a chief priest, and all that. All these things is, in fact, the king rule the living and the dead. And this is the position our leader stands for. Over 3 million or 5 million people that have died before. No other leader in Biafran land, no other leader in the whole of the wider zoo have thought of these souls that are lost. But our leader rise up to justify the death of these people. And he's also standing for the lives of we that are still alive. Who could be a better leader than Mazi Onyeibe? He just the gift of heaven to us, Biafra. And I will continue to appreciate him no matter what the enemies are doing. No matter what they are doing. I'm just asking and making this plea, if it's possible. In fact, this Asari of a guy, it should be, let us handle it. Because our leader, his measures, he can't even be talking about this guy. Our leader shouldn't be talking about this guy. Our leader killed Buhari. He told him he cannot jail him, and Buhari fainted and died. This struggle also brought about Kyari to so our leader, Asari is not Asari no rich. So this is just my plea. Because these guys are just coming out to distract. Waziriki is also there. They are just coming to distract us now that Fulanis are coming. Fulanis, they are all coming in our land, and these guys, they are just coming up now just to distract us. So please, our leader, forget, you've told us the fact, and we've known that this guy is owing us 25 million naira. First 5 million and second 20 million he's owing us, and you made it for emphasis sake. We have taken note of that and forget this guy. Let's march forward. This is just my contribution. And Mazi Onyeibe, thank you for the good work. I sign out from here.
Thank you very much. Our people must understand how these areas function, and then everybody fall in place. Are you there, caller on the line?
Yes, Mazi George Onyeibe.
Good evening from here. Go ahead, please.
Good evening. My name remains Damian Nwachukwu. I'm calling from Aba in Abia State province. George Onyeibe, of a truth, I joined one woman that used to call you encyclopedia. You are encyclopedia of our time. You are so great. When I hear you speaking, I am very happy. George Onyeibe, please, I have a reason why I called this night. And my reason remains. Please, after this call, I will send you a text message. Please, I'm begging you with God's name. I want you to relay this message to our leader. When a soldier is in a battlefront, he don't fight flight. He don't fight flight. You know, this country we are, they are distractors. I know that there is a lot of people that have been paid to distract our leader. We should forget about all these things. If those people are really fighting for Biafrans, they will have joined hands together. They would have done one or two things to make sure that the struggle went on. Rather, a lot of them are being paid to distract him. Please help me to relay this message to him. He should not listen to distractors. There is a big war at front. We are having a big war. Our enemies have surrounded us. This is not the time for side talk. This is the time for action. Please, my dear brother, you are my brother. You are our encyclopedia. Whenever we hear you talking, a lot of us have hope and courage. Please, I want you to relay this message. Relay this message to our dealer. There is a lot of distractors so that they will not distract him. Let's face what is facing us. Let's face what is ahead of us. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
God will continue to bless you. God will continue to bless our leader. God will continue to do the miracle that He has started. I know that one day, this struggle will end in praise. Remain blessed.
Thank you
God
very
bless
much.
you.
And you too. Yes, a caller on WhatsApp. Are you still there? Caller on WhatsApp.
Yeah, good evening, lovers of freedom all over the world. Good evening to my able leader from here in Lebanon. Mazi, the topic you raised today is very, very important to make us to understand where we are going. I will not waste time for this. What I have I want to say is that to Biafrans all over the world, Asariki Dokubo, he owes us credit card. He owes Biafrans credit card. And in another side, he says he's not a Biafran man. Now that he knows that everything has already ready to dawn, now he's coming out to say he is the one that is a Biafran. Upon all the things that he's due to our leader, and our leader kept it on himself. He doesn't want anybody to hear about it. But as Sariki Dokubo, he has the mind, he has the zeal to come and begin to say rubbish when it's getting to time for Biafran to go. By the way, how much did they give to him that he is coming up by this time to say those rubbish that he's saying? Asariki Dokubo, you owe Biafrans, you owe our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, You owe him apology. You have to come apologize to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. If not so, you will suffer for your life. This is the time for us Biafrans to go. Now, Biafrans, whether they call it Uzodema, Uzojo, I beg, do the needful. Don't bring the something that will make the Biafrans to be angry with you for eternity. We, the Biafrans, we are seeing, we are noticing whatever that is happening to our brothers and sisters. They are dying every day. Many of you people soak your hand in the blood. You want to share your brother's blood. You want to share your sister's blood. You want to share your mother's blood because of chicken change. Now that is not too late. Asariki Dokubo, repent and change. Change because of your children tomorrow, your generation tomorrow. On earth, you will suffer for it. You owe our leader apology. You have to come and apologize to our leader for all the people that they have lost in sake of you. And you ate the money, you keep quiet. You begin to come and say your rubbish mouth, your gutter mouth to come and talk to our leader. Who is you? Asariki Dokubo, any money that they give to you, the zoo government give to you that is making you to come on air, to come and do all those rubbish. Better be careful of yourself. Your children tomorrow, they will suffer for it. The money you ate, that money you have to vomit that money. You vomit that money. Any 10 kobo you eat, you have to vomit that money. On earth, you will suffer for it. And all the Biafrans that they are not supporting for this freedom, when it comes today, remember, you have your children, you have your grandchildren, you have your family. If it did not come onto your head, it will come to your family. It will come to your generation. Please and please, repent from that way, from that evil act, and join the freedom of Biafra, so that tomorrow it will be better for your generation.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mazi. God bless you for the good work you are doing to Biafrans all over the world.
Faithful.
Thank you.
Caller on WhatsApp, are you still there?
Yes, Mazi Onyeibe.
Good evening.
Good evening from here. Yes, my name is Udochi. I'm calling from Finland. I'm a Biafran. Many things are happening. For the way I see it is for our own good. Everybody that is speaking since all these days, they're quoting the scriptures, meaning that and everybody, no matter how it is, everybody is weighing the things that is happening, the way of God, how God is doing, and how people is reacting. So, in the Bible says that there was a big war between the house of David and the house of Saul. And the house of David keep on large, and the house of Saul keep on getting demolished until there is no more. That is what is happening now. The sponsor, at least Asari and Wazurike, they are having a little honor, very little honor. But God wants to empty them and naked them in the market because of the prayer, because of them, what they have been doing in the secret. That's why this thing come up. Do you know now that Asari does not sleep? Because you know that the little people that are following him, they are no more because he have naked himself. So today he makes video that yes, he has collected the money, but he brought a Quran. Because I told somebody, I say, anybody that's swelling with Quran, the Quran is lying. You see, Muslim, their food is lying. The Bible says Satan is a liar and the father of all lies. Tell me show me a Muslim. Show me any Muslim that is not build their life. It's just lying. Lying is a part of the religion. So holding Quran to this, I know that because when you look at everything, he's exposed. So it's a snake that the head is being crossed. That's the way they say it. So you know that he's naked from his wife. He's naked from his wife. Before we now talk about his village and his community and the entire district, he has emptied himself. So then Owazirike bringing the biggest Bible. What Owazirike is sworn in the Bible is not what our leader said. Our leader did not say Owazirike collects contracts. So he just Owazirike said another chapter. Our leader say federal government gave him money direct. He didn't talk about that one. Owazirike did not say if I collected money from the federal government direct. Our leader say he built a hotel. Owazirike say if I have this Bible, give me if I have even one hotel. So he leave what he has, what he was accused, and be talking different things. So you can see that these people have disgraced themselves. So having said this, what God determined shall be done. God has decided to anoint our leader to give us Biafra. And there's nothing anybody can do about it. And forward ever, backward never. Biafra must show this. What about the people that declare prayer? What about the Yoruba that are calling prayer? And overseer? What of the Jews that are calling prayer? Does that prevent? But God go ahead and be disgraceful and going ahead. He gives an angel that is fighting this war for us. Without we have not lifted any arm. The angel is fighting already. Victory is sure. Let everybody let nobody panic. God has anointed anything that our leader, Okunabo Ozara, now the country said, God honors it. And there's nothing anybody can do about it. Biafra, we speak a very Biafra. Not to worry about it. God bless you.
Thank you very much. We must continue.
So, please make a request. This Mbadike from bed, he called yesterday. I tried to take up pick his number, but before I could do that, my phone it has finished and he didn't repeat the number. So please, if you have his number, box me on my line. And I don't want to give my number because it's my number contract. So if I give it, so people will pick it up. So you should check his number and give it to me. God bless you.
Thank you very much. We must continue. Biafrans across the globe must understand how our ancestors were able to manage their time, because the time is very close. Caller on the line, your name and where are you calling from?
Hello.
Good evening from here.
Ipob, the great family. The great family, Ipob. I salute you, God Onyeibe. I salute you. Yes.
Go ahead and please stop listening to your radio.
I thank you very much because I've been trying to reach this evening. I am Gospel Odioha Ofore from R&B Zogo, Biafra land. I don't have much. I'll be hearing what these saboteurs have been trying to do or to say about our leader. He's a selected man from the Almighty God. I say, I don't have much to say about it. I sang this song earlier when this struggle, and this song, it has come up to the mountain again this time. This is the critical time. And this song, I will sing it again for my leader. Nandi, you are able to go up the mountain to possess the land of Biafra down to the sea. Though we know the giants shall be on your way to hinder, but surely God will give you victory. Victory! Yes, Nandi, you're on the right side. You're on the right side. Victory is yours. Victory is for IPOB. Yes, now we are on top. Thank you, Elohim. Thank you, Chukwu Okike, for all you have done for us. That's all we'll continue to do now. We forget all what Asari Tokuboy is saying. No, they can't. They are behind. Now we move on. You're on the top of the mountain. Nothing they can do again this time. I'm sorry for them. Judge Anita, thank you as well. I say, may Chukwu Okike continue to bless you. Bless all the genuine IPOB members. I say, may Chukwu Okike continue to bless us. The whole of IPOB all over the whole world. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I don't have much. I'm thanking Chukwu Okike for what he has been doing for IPOB. No matter, nothing can distract us from what it is.
Thank you very much. Call on WhatsApp. Call on WhatsApp. Call on WhatsApp.
Yeah. Hello.
Go ahead. Good evening from here.
Yes, I'm there, my honorable lecturer, Mazi. Yes, I'm there, Mazi Onyeibe. Good evening, all Biafrans, the lovers of freedom, wherever you are. My name is still your humble servant, Mazi Joseph Onyeibe. And Mazi Joseph Onyeibe is calling from Obolafo. Obolafo is in the Uden local government. In Sokasa, then we say Biafra land. I appreciate Chukwu Okike for today, especially on your head, Mazi Onyeibe. May God Almighty, who give you this knowledge, keep on strengthening you and protecting you, because you are a great man indeed. And same thing regard go to my honorable leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, one of Biafra land, a man who have come and start make us to start reasoning like a human being, and for us to even know our right have been today. And I say make it through, keep on strengthening him and our deputy leader and every other Biafrans that's working assiduously. It just is the reason why I said that God Almighty implant many things inside you, man, George Onyeibe, because since he started preaching about this, go back to our roots, our people, we have realized our great mistake, because you have teaching us a lot. You have made us to know what they have taken away from us, and our people have now started reasoning. Because just like this evening, I can remember a time that if you see a chief, or if you see let me say a king, the kind of respect that they gave to that king is more than anything. But today, it's not more so. Because our people are buying a king, they use money to buy a king, because of the checkery money that are paying them, they start killing themselves in the place that they are dragging for a king. And in all the days, it's not like that. If a king pass, everybody around that fertility will stand up. But it's not work today. All this thing because they have now turned everything about our root. They have now removed everything that made us to start reasoning like a human being. But I thank God, the God Almighty who implanted inside you, and every day by day keep on researching what will our people do for us to go back to our root. And I say, make a Keruwa who give you this knowledge, keep on searching you, because you are really doing a great job into our life of Biafran. And everywhere where Biafran is, please, let's do the needful and go back to our roots. This thing will help us a lot. Because if you not go back to our roots now, believe me, if Biafra come today, we are still going to remain the same. But when we go back to our roots, that is the time that you can enjoy this Biafra to the level, to the place that our grandchildren, that we know that what we suffer and what we struggle for is eternity, and it's not ordinary thing. It's something that they will enjoy eternity. So my people, better for us to go back to our roots so that we can enjoy this promised land, so that we can enjoy this land that is flowing with milk and honey, this land that we good health, social amenities, anything that somebody can think in life. I would like to summarize here so that other people can give their own contribution, but I say make a Keruwa, keep on strengthening every other Biafrans, wherever you are, that is contributing in one way or the other to make sure we reach up to this level. There's nothing that anyone contributed in this struggle that is in vain. And Chico Kadima will reward you in a million folds. I sign off from here. Still may your humble servant, Mazi, Joseph Onyeibe. Goodbye from here.
Thank you very much. Caller on the line. Caller on the line.
Hello,
Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Go ahead, please.
Sir, good evening, sir. What of my namesake?
They are very fine. Thank you.
Okay, my regard to them. Now, back to our topic this night. You see, the problem that we have is all these money mongers. If I give you money, you give me the cane. And that is why we are seeing all this rubbish that is happening in our land. About Owazirike and his brother, I'm laughing at them because they don't know what is happening. They don't know what is happening because our house remain only but zinc. We have painted all of them. All of the house has paint, and it remain only but one zinc. And once we do that one zinc, everybody will pack into that house. That is our end. My dear, my regard to you, Mazi Onyeibe, and I pray that God will give you more strength and more vision to teach us. You see, you are building a foundation. We are learning a lot. Back to your roots. Do this thing because as you are teaching us, we are learning. Well, once Biafra comes, all these things you are teaching for us, you will see them working in our life. Now, thank God for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Please tell him that he should forget all these boys and girls, women that are flefu, those people that they pregnant inside the gutter. Please tell him to forget all of them and focus to the call that God has called him to do. And once he finishes that call, all of us will rejoice. Thank God. Thank you very much. I don't have a lot to say. Thank you very much, sir. Good night, sir. Please, my namesake, please.
Thank you. They will hear. Are you there, caller on WhatsApp? Caller
yes, yes, Mazi. Good evening, sir.
Good evening from here. Go ahead, please.
Yes, Mazi. I'm calling you. You are speaking with Ella Japan. Ella Japan is from Abia Pongap in Burokara in Akwa Ibom in Biafra land. Mazi, I'm calling you now from Aba. I thank God. I thank all the Biafrans. I also thank God for you. I thank God for all the lovers of freedom, all the Biafrans. I thank our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I thank everyone, all the lovers of freedom, entire world. Say, may God bless everyone. Mazi, you so much like the topic that you raised this evening. We are talking about, though I did not come and hear the beginning, but I had some information. Speaking about is Iwe. Mazi, you remember the time that I was small, in our village, those palm trees, there will be palm tree that village, the villages have it. Those widows that did not have anyone, even one tree, the one that belongs to that land, that village. I remember the time that I was small, but I did not even no longer seeing those things for now. Those widows that did not have one, those palm trees that belong to the village, they will just give it either for many months. They will not cut it, they will not affect it. After they will tell the town crier, they will ring bell, turn the village. They will mention the week, the months that they will all everyone, even if you don't have one palm tree, one stick, one stand. During that time, you must have it. You have people that will call, you will call someone that will tap your own, cut your own palm fruit for you. You have enough. and the little money that you give, little money, but you have enough. But for now, I can't see those things. The village head, they will carry that thing and keep one particular person and collect money. Can see those widows that did not have it, hungry will kill them. But I remember that time, that thing will help them. But now, because of money, they have big eye and also do so thing and sell it, carry it and give. They will carry it and give one maybe big man in the village and collect a lot of money. Say they put it in the purse from the village. That's exactly what they're doing now. So this topic that you raised this make me to remember far back. They say back fruit is very, very important. Those palm fruit, during that moment, those widows that is not maybe their husband died, they did not have anything. Those palm fruit, they will have a lot because they will ring bell. Everyone will come out in the village square. They will come into the village square. They divide it, they share it, they will have many palm oil. During that time, they will sell, even break the palm kernel and feed themselves. But for now, because of money, those bad Iwe that they love money more than their people, they will carry those palm. As I'm talking to you, such thing did not take place again now. For where I'm from, such that kind of thing did not take place. They will just carry and give one big man and collect money. It's that man that will control all those things. It's not very bad. So I so much thank God for as our leader come and open our eye. Even you make me to flash my mind at back those things that happened before, but those things did not even take place again. So I so much thank God because our eyes open. Even those US them that hearing this our radio, they will many of them will take the correction and will also change. Thank you. Let me give others people for them to. Please, sir, can I speak for Walale to our people, please, sir? Though the time is short, please. I will make it briefly. Okay, sir. Thank you. Among the third Kaida, I know me like Japan. Like Japan to be a pongat. On that Burokara, a white boom step Biafra land. Mbok, so Ipob, because I have been in Ipob, what do you book the bar? There were as a nam draki the book Biafra, book the Mbok, Dakada. Even a Mimazuni, you can fear as a but when you see the right handwriting on the wall, at least you're supposed to add a better join, Biafra, join. Yeah, that is the opportunity. That is the only way it will be there free. All the politicians and they disappoint. So before you know, man, was during election time, I forgot I got 1,000. I would have, you know, but after that election, Abu Kunam said, so this is our last hope. Mazi, please, thank you. Let me give others people a chance for them to make their comment. Thank you very much. May God bless you for your work.
Thank you very much. We must continue. And then we are inching closer to the end of this segment. Caller on the line.
Mazi Onyeibe, good evening, sir.
Good evening from here. Go ahead, please.
My name is Pastor Chiba. Pastor Chiba, Wonye Ezinihite, Eziudo Mbise, Eziudo to Ebremri. Ejimo Hera Nekele Mazi Onyeibe, Nekele Mazi Nnamdi, Nekele all the Biafrans all over the world. Neda Bambo, Ehona Biafra Radia. Nekele Human Ademma. All the pastors all over the world, the human are them, and then they make sure that Biafra will come. Wherever you are, and God Almighty will bless you, people. I want to use this opportunity also to call on other men of God, that are playing deaf ears, not to support Biafra, not to support IPU, not to support Mazi Nnamdi. This is the time for you to stand up. Wherever you are, stand up now. If we fix it now, we will never get it right again. This is the time for every one of us to join Mazi Nnamdi. Whosoever that is praying for peace in your private altar, different altar, is making a lot of mistakes. There is no peace. We all are seeing it. Every day we are seeing it, that there is no longer peace in the nation. The so-called evil rulers of this country have destroyed everything. They have destroyed the peace of this country. If there is anything like a country in this country, they have destroyed the peace. All the present before us is destruction. And this is the time for every one of us to come up and take our lives, our destiny into our hands. Because if we allow these people, my brothers and my sisters, they will end up in destroying our lives. This is the time for every one of us to stand up. And if you are a man of God, you are not coming out to join, you are not coming out to speak, the Lord will punish you wherever you are. You will never live to see Biafra come. If you are a man of God, no matter the denomination where you belong, whether you are Catholic, Anglican, wherever you are, anywhere you are, and you are not coming up to speak, you are not coming up to support, the Lord will punish you. Heaven will punish you. This is the time for every one of us to join hands. I used to say it. This battle is not for Mazi the Kanu alone. This battle is for every one of us. Any generation where you belong. These people have come to destroy us. This is the time for us to stand up and tell the members the truth. Direct the members the right place to follow. Tell your members to support Nnamdi the Kanu. Let them bring out their money. They have their money. Let them bring out their money. Tell your members to bring out their money to support Mazi Nnamdi the Kanu. Whatever it them to do, let them do it. Because these evil plans, they are very, very ready to destroy us. But thank God, God will never allow them, their plans, to come to fulfillment. This is the high time. Let every one of us join hands together and fight this battle. The world is about to see a never forgotten life. The world is about to see a miracle, something that will happen that they never imagine in life. So I want to urge every one of us, wherever you are, to join Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. We want to come out and join. In America, I have many of you there. In Europe, I have you, both the brothers. Come out and join. This is the time. This is the time. Whosoever that will not join, it will amaze you. Whosoever that will not help, it will amaze you. That you will not live to see this wonderful light that is coming to us from above. God bless you, Mazi. Onyeibe. God bless you. Remember
Thank you very much. And this is where we draw the curtain for this segment. Of course, I will be signing off and I'll be back in less than no time. Do not go away.